Greetings, YouTube, and welcome to episode 243 of the 4,000 Question Challenge. Woohoo! What are 3 barriers that keep you from reaching your full potential, and what would you help you overcome them? Anxiety, depression, and PTSD. Therapy. There you go. That was a quick one. How much do you use reward? I don't know if if you do that, you get a reward. If you do this, you get a reward. I don't do that so much. I tend to think of things that are not necessarily aren't necessary, but are enjoyable. I sometimes think of like the little wiggle room in life. Maybe if you since you've been overall consistently on good behavior, maybe there's a little wiggle room when it comes to like a weekend activity or food choice and things like that. So I don't like to think of it as reward. I think that's kind of an unhealthy dynamic. All right, now we have a section which is going to be lead-in question and then with follow-up sections. And the lead-in is, by law, should HIV tests be mandatory for pregnant women and people getting married? That's a tough one. As far as people getting married, I think they should know if their partners have a disease. And I think a mother should know if she does. But I'm not sure if we should do that by law. I really don't. By law, should smoking be banned in all public places? Fuck yes. And anywhere where children are. Public or private. Cars, homes, I don't give a shit. No child should ever be exposed to smoking. By law, should sex and violence on TV be eliminated? I think that in America we have a twisted view of sex and violence. We tend to think of violence as not a big deal and get all upset about sex. I think that we should put a lot more emphasis on putting violence in its proper context, not necessarily eliminating it, but putting it into its proper context. And sex should be much less important than it is now. It should be shown as a part of everyday healthy life. Everybody's involved in it to some degree, and nudity should be allowed in public and on television if the people producing the program want to produce it. Not necessarily saying actual sexual acts being depicted, but just nudity. There's nothing sexual about a nude human. By law, should toy guns be banned? I don't think so. I don't. By law, should research that may lead to human cloning come to a halt? Nope, I got no problem with cloning humans. By law, should children not graduate from high school without being fluent in at least 2 other languages? I don't think that should be by law. I think it should be greatly encouraged that every kid learn to speak another language. I think that there should be some minimum requirements for graduation so that we know that the person is capable of going out there in the real world and being an adult. But if somebody can do that at 12, well, then you're done. But I fear that most people wouldn't be able to do it at 18 because our current educational system is an absolute shambles thanks to the GOP. Okay, 2 more questions in this section. What goes through your mind when you see people on TV who have endured great hardship? I feel great empathy for them, and I wish they hadn't. And what part of your life is on hold now? What was to happen before you can move? What has to happen before you can move on? The whole mental health thing. I need to get through the mental health thing and figure out how to deal with the world in a better way so that my life can go. It was on hold a lot for me in life. It's becoming less on hold now than it was before. And hopefully by the time you see this, it will be far less on hold at the point of uploading this than it is at the time of recording it. So there you go. This has been episode 243 of the 4,000 Question Challenge. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And I would hope that you would stop by and see 244.